Hi everyone, it's Nick. Welcome back to my channel. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you some of my unpopular design opinions. So these are opinions that I personally have that are not always necessarily the most popular. They might be a little bit different than what you've heard other YouTubers say or what you've read on blogs or different designers or whatever. And they're just a little bit different. They're my own opinions and they're unpopular and I don't care because I'm going to be sharing them here anyway. Okay, so here we go. Unpopular opinion number one, and that is that the Cloud sofa from RH or Restoration Hardware is not the perfect sofa that is perfect for everybody. So if you're not familiar, there is a sofa at RH called the Cloud sofa, and so many people rave about this sofa. It is the dream goal sofa for so many people. And I'm here to say that it is a gorgeous sofa. If you've sat on this sofa, you deserve to sit on this sofa. Everybody should go to Restoration Hardware, go to RH right now and sit on it so you can really understand what I'm talking about. It is a beautiful, soft, squishy, delightful sofa, but it is not for everybody. And here's why. First of all, it requires a lot of maintenance. The people at RH will actually explain this to you when you really take the time and you sit with them and discuss the pros and cons of this sofa. It is, not only is it extremely expensive, it's like $15,000, but it also requires a lot of maintenance. Basically, this thing is like a cloud. Every time you sit in it, it is very soft and squishy, but you have to fluff it every time you sit back up because if you do not maintain it, and some of the fabrics are better, honestly, at sort of camouflaging than others, but basically every time you stand up from your sofa, you are supposed to fluff this sofa. So it is, first of all, not for anybody that is looking for a drama, worry-free sofa. I'll also add that some people, like me, are looking to do a lot of entertaining at home and they would like to be able to see and converse with their guests. It's basically always asking for you to lie down and take a nap on it. I just don't think that it has enough structure in it to necessarily support being everybody's daily sofa. It's a beautiful sofa, but it does have its drawbacks, and I think it's an unpopular opinion to say, but it is not the perfect sofa that is for everybody. I think designers and YouTubers and bloggers, whatever, need to stop treating this sofa with godlike reverence. This thing is not the absolute perfect sofa. It does have significant drawbacks. Even if you can afford a $15,000 sofa, I don't think it is the perfect choice for everybody out there. It's actually a very specific sofa for a specific type of person. Okay, unpopular opinion number two. Chantilly lace paint is not always the perfect white paint. This one's gonna get some comments. I actually touched on this in a collaboration video that I did with the paint people. I'm gonna link that down below. But basically, I made the case there as well that Chantilly lace is a beautiful paint. If you saw my video on my favorite white paints, it is on the list. So I will say it is a very nice white paint, but it is also the lightest paint in Benjamin Moore's collection. So it is very bright. It reflects a lot of light back. So it's really nice for darker rooms. But I will say that in really bright rooms, it reflects too much. And sometimes it sort of lacks the depth that you're looking for in a white paint. I will also say that sometimes Chantilly lace in the wrong room can look like primer. It can just look like you've primed your walls and you haven't actually painted them yet. And I just sometimes think that that's not a great look, especially in a room that gets a ton of light, because it does have an LRV that is the highest in Benjamin Moore's collection. That's light reflectance value. It does reflect a lot of light back, and that can mean that in a light room, it can come across as too bright. So yes, Chantilly lace is a great paint. It's great for trim. It's great for your walls. It can be great for ceilings, but it is not the perfect be-all paint. Everybody sort of describes Chantilly lace as the go-to. Every designer pushes you into getting Chantilly lace. It is not the perfect paint. It is a great paint, but it's not the be-all and end-all perfect paint. Okay, unpopular opinion number three. Open concept is here to stay. So I have heard many people saying open concept is over. It is done. We are putting up walls. I've heard many people say that because of the pandemic, now we're all sick of each other in our own homes. We're all stuck inside together and we can't stand each other all the time. So we've decided we're gonna put up walls. We're done with open concept. We're over it. I disagree. Now, I will say that the pandemic has changed some things, for sure. I think, back in the 90s, we used to have the office, the den, the computer room, whatever you want to call it. You used to have your own space to put your computer because computers were big and bulky, and that's what you did. And then we all got laptops in the 2000s, and so we didn't really need the computer room, so it sort of kind of went out of fashion a little bit. But I think what we've seen with this pandemic is there is room for space in your home to do work. I think that that is true. I think that is something that has changed with the pandemic. But this idea that open concept is over, I just don't think that's really accurate or plays well into modern living. I think most people, especially if you have kids and you want to like keep an eye on them running around your place, I think the idea that we're going to go back to the more traditional floor plan, I don't think is accurate. I think the death of the open concept has been much exaggerated, and I don't think it's going anywhere. I think there's going to be some room for spaces in your home to do more work because we're asking our homes to be more multifunctional, but the idea that open concept is completely going away and it's going to be so passé, honestly, I don't believe it. I think open concept is here to stay. Okay, unpopular design opinion number 4 is that I think subway tiles are classic. Okay, so subway tiles. I have seen so many people say that subway tiles are over, that we're done, that we're just like, oh, it's tired. You know, is there maybe different patterns than subway tiles for you to explore? For sure. There's like stack tiles, there's like staggered, you can go vertical. So you don't have to go for that classic subway dimension. You can go for different size, different shapes, different colors. Totally sure. But the white subway tile is classic. I don't think it's really going to look out of date. I think people are just like, oh, if you put a white subway backsplash or you put in your bathroom, which I did, so maybe I'm just being defensive here. I don't know. But you know what? Great. But I don't think it's really a passing fad. I just think overall the subway tile is quite a classic shape. I think it's the white subway. It's beautiful. I think it's timeless. I think it's something, yes, it ebbs and flows with trends, but in the end, I think you can file that under something that is going to be classic and going to look good for years to come. I just don't think that it's going to be so super passé the way that sometimes on this channel I think some trends have, you know, run their course and maybe time to go. I don't think the white subway tile is one of them. I'm just going to say it. Okay, unpopular design opinion number 5. That is, and I referenced this one in another video as well, and that is that yes, sometimes the TV can go above the fireplace. Yeah, okay, here we go. Okay, this one I know is going to be controversial because so many of you hate the TV above the fireplace, and I get it. Because here's the thing, I don't like when the TV is above the fireplace when the space is really small and when the distance between the couch and the television isn't that big. Like if you're, say, in a small apartment, or you have a really tall mantle and your TV is so high that you're, you know, straining your neck in order to be able to look at it. Yes, I've said that in previous videos and I stand by that advice. But that doesn't mean that a TV over the fireplace is just an awful look that never makes sense and doesn't work. I actually do think that sometimes if your room is big enough and you're trying to create that singular focal point in the space, I do think that if you have maybe a low fireplace relative to kind of where the television is going to go on the wall, you're keeping that one singular focal point, and I think it can look really beautiful stacked on top of each other. I find when you've got 2 focal points in the space or you've got them kind of side by side next to each other, I personally don't even like that as much. I actually do prefer that it's stacked one on top of each other if you have the space to do it. If you don't, then you have to look at other options. That's when you have to look at either hiding it or you have to look up putting the television on a different wall, and that can work too. But I'm just saying that, unpopular opinion, I do think the television over the fireplace can look really good and is sometimes my own personal preferred option. I know I'm gonna hear about that in the comment section. Let me have it. I want to hear about it. And if you want to see more about the trends that I'm over, so if you kind of like this style of video, I think you'll like those too. I'm gonna link to a playlist. I've got a couple of them already on the channel and you can check them out there. So thanks a lot. Talk to you later. Bye.